Most of the seats contested in this country's November 2010 parliamentary elections went to the USDP, whose leaders were overwhelmingly part of the previous regime. A 2009 act of trespass by US citizen John Yettle was the pretext for this country to extend the house arrest. Burma's correct, just one or two words out, so 10 points for that. This nation's capital lies on the slopes of Pichincha, an active stratovolcano, for 10 points each. Name this nation, whose other volcanoes include Cotopaxi.
Ecuador.
10 points. This Ecuadorian capital lies on Pichincha.
Quito.
10 points. This volcano contains the highest point in Ecuador.
Chimborazo.
10 points. Second toss-up. The title character of this work dreams that he takes his lover's songbird and casts his house window before leaving the merchant Kamaswamy. That lover, Kamala, is fatally wounded by a snake near the river where he gains enlightenment from Vasudeva and reunites with Govinda, one of Gautama's monks, for 10 points. Name this novel by Hermann Hesse about a Brahmin.
Siddhartha.
Siddhartha is correct for 10. In 2010, the US Open Golf Championship was won by a European for the first time since 1970 for 10 points each. Named the 2008 Ryder Cup competitor from Northern Ireland, who captured the title despite shooting a final round 3 over par 74.
And Graham McDowell.
10 points. McDowell took the victory at this iconic American golf course whose cliffs of doom are set along the rocky shores of California's Monterey Peninsula.
Pebble Beach.
Yeah, try.
And Pebble Beach.
Good answer, 10 points. This other Northern Irish golfer blew a 4-stroke lead on the final day of the 2011 Masters tournament after having set a record as the youngest first-day leader in Masters history.
Rory McIlroy.
10 points again. Next toss-up. A Steele phenomenon results from proximal stenosis in these entities and can result in retrograde flow in the vertebral or internal thoracic ones. The small
Arteries.
arteries is correct for 15 despite my slightly mangling the pronunciation, so well done. For 10 points each, answer the following about the role of Scotland's Fingal's Cave in the arts. This composer's Hebrides Overture is commonly called Fingal's Cave.
Mendelssohn.
Of course, 10 points. This playwright of The Father set scenes from his dream play at Fingal's Grotto.
Strindberg.
Correct, 10 points. This artist of the Fighting Temeraire and the Slave Ship also painted Stafford Fingal's Cave.
J.M. W. Turner.
Correct, 10 points. Nothing wrong so far as we move into toss-up 4. This work is prefaced by a section called Joke, Cunning and Revenge. Its fourth book sketches St. Januarius, and its fifth is called We Fearless Ones, and it took its title from a term applied to Provençal troubadours. To argue for amor fati, it affected the idea of eternal return, which its author revisited in Thus Spoke Zarathustra.
Nietzsche.
-5. For 10 points, name this book in which Friedrich Nietzsche declared God is dead.
And Beyond Good and Evil.
No. It's the gay science, or the Fröhliche Wissenschaft, so no one gets that. Next toss-up. In this work, one character describes how she cannot cry until she recalls that she made the last payment on her house, but there will be no one to live in it. The son of the protagonist's neighbour, Bernard, will soon be arguing before the Supreme Court, and the protagonist's son fails a maths class after witnessing his father's affair at a hotel. For 10 points, name this play featuring Willie Loman by...
Death of a Salesman.
Is correct. 10 points per Butterberries. For 10 points each, name these supercontinents. This supercontinent, likely centred south of the equator, existed about 1 billion years ago.
Gondwana.
No, it's Rodinia. This supercontinent, which existed around 500 million and 200 million years ago, contained present-day Australia, Africa and Antarctica.
That sounds like Gondwana. I think so. Gondwana land.
Correct, 10 points. Gondwana, along with Laurasia, formed this supercontinent that broke apart about 200 million years ago.
Pangea.
Is correct. All 10 points. Toss-up number... Yes, just 10 points for that bit, 20 points for the second. Toss-up number 6. The name of the largest of this nation's 63 islands, Pulau Ujong, translates as island at the end of a nearby peninsula. In 1965, it split with its neighbour across the...
Singapore.
Is 15 points. Very good. Blood plasma contains a system based on carbonic acid and the bicarbonate ion that maintains conditions required by enzymes. For 10 points each, name this type of system. No, it's a buffer. Buffers operate in accordance with this principle that a system's equilibrium will shift to reduce the magnitude of an external shock.
That is homeostasis, isn't that homeostasis?
Well, sounds like it.
Homeostasis.
No, it's Le Chatelier's principle. The pH at which a buffer operates can be computed using this equation if one knows the pKa of the acid and the concentrations of the acid and the base. It's the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, which we've got. Should we do a score, Cathy?
95 to Cambridge, 70 to Oxford.
Excellent. And this is toss-up 7. For the student T distribution with n degrees of freedom, this quantity equals n over n minus 2. It is calculated by taking the mean of the square of a random variable and subtracting the square of the mean, or by summing the probability of each data point times...
Variance?
Variance is correct, 10 points. For 10 points each, name these objects of affection in poetry. The narrator whispers the name of this rare and radiant maiden in Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven.
Lenore, yeah.
Lenore.
10 points. Petrarch's Canzoniere centre on his love for this woman who may have been the wife of Count Hugues de Sade.
Laura.
10 points. Richard Lovelace's poem to this woman calls her sweet and fair and tells her to braid no more that shining hair.
Althea. Althea.
No, it's Amarantha, so 20 points for the set there. And toss up 8. The central figure of this song is told that the papers want to know whose shirts you wear. A countdown in
Me! Major Tom, Space Odyssey.
Space Odyssey. Right. The oldest, this is your bonus set, the oldest description of a priestly class is Julius Caesar's Commentaries on the Gallic Wars for 10 points each. Name that group of Celtic diviners and magistrates.
Druids, I think that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, diviners, Druids.
Correct, 10 points. The etymology of the name Druid is often linked to that of this tree in the genus Quercus.
Is it like a U?
Could be you can.
Yes, yes.
It's the yew tree.
No, it's the oak. This body, recovered from an English peat-bog in 1984, had his head crushed, his throat slit, and was strangled. Some think this was the result of a druidic sacrifice.
Yeah, something, yeah.
Sure, it's put down right?
No,
That was earlier.
I can't.
Well,
The man of the people, man.
That's a,
It's like a bogman.
I'll get Pete.
no, it's Lindo Man. Lindow. Right, toss-up number 9. The Kapas National Shrine commemorates this event for which Homa Masaharu was executed. It included stops at Balanga and San Fernando before the final destination of Camp O'Donnell was reached. This event began after forces under American General Edward King surrendered on April 9, 1942. For 10 points, name this World War II event in which...
The Battle of Midway.
No, -5. Name this World War II event in which the Japanese mistreated POWs during a forced march in the Philippines.
The Thai Hunger March.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. The Tarn Death March, but you've been given it. 10 points each. Name these puppets of Axis powers during World War II.
Okay.
This army officer proclaimed himself Norway's head of government following the German invasion in 1940.
Quisling.
Correct, 10 points. This last Qing emperor was installed by the Japanese as head of Manchukuo.
Puyi.
10 points. He resigned as president of the All-Indian Congress in 1939. With German backing, he tried to foment revolt from Afghanistan, while Japan appointed him head of the Indian National Army.
Netaji. Subhash Chandra Bose.
Nominate.
Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose.
Very good.
Yeah.
10 points. 30 points to set. Excellent. Another toss-up. In the so-called shift reaction, an atom of oxygen from water is added to this gas used to measure lung diffusion capacity. Sunlight produces about 5 billion metric tons of it each year in the atmosphere. When this binary diatomic gas with a triple bond is part of a complex ion, it's called carbonyl. For 10 points, name this silent killer.
Carbon monoxide.
Is